All right, welcome back, Principles of Engineering, Project Lead the Way. We are going to continue on with lessons for Unit 3, 3.1.2. Now we're doing basic outputs programming. So to start, make sure you have your computers. You'll be in My PLCW for this assignment. You'll get logged into RobotC, and once again, all the work's going to be done on our test bed. So you're going to be in the same groups that you were for creating the test bed, so let's not switch around or anything like that. Just keep it simple. And you're going to start by going through, and once again, we're not doing the Team A and Team B thing. We're just going to make sure our VEX PoE Cortex to the PC is connected, which mine is, and that my battery's on, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. There's a switch on the Cortex. It's kind of difficult to get to, but we're going to make sure that's all connected, ready to go, and there we go. So part one is going to be controlling LEDs, and in this activity you're going to use the green LED, the right motor, the left motor, and the servo, and you're going to leave the previously connected motors and sensors wired to the Cortex. We're not going to mess with them, but we're going to set up our motors and sensors as shown in your My PLCW. Okay, so for me, port number 12 is going to be the green LED, but before we get into any of that, every time when you start a new one, make sure that we go up here, robot, you're going to do platform type, VEX Robotics 2.0, robot, platform type, natural language, robot, Cortex communication mode, VEXNet or USB, good. And then we're going to go up to File, Open Sample Program, and you're going to go to PLCW template, and then just double check and make sure that you are still with the correct information. So make sure you are using the correct template. Now I'm going to do like File, Save As, on my H drive again. And under my H drive, I'm going to name this A3_1_2. All right, so 3.1.2, inputs, outputs. Inputs, outputs. Okay. And then maybe like your group name or something like that. Richman. We're good. So now it's saved. I would be able to go back in there. So motor and sensor setup, green LED is going to be in digital input output. So digital sensors, and it's going to be number 12. LED, VEX LED, we're going to call it green. However, I mean, you can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it green LED. Apply. And then for the motors, we got right motor for 2. And left motor for port 3. And I'm typing those with a lowercase L and a lowercase r, and then capital M for motor, no spaces. And then servo motor would be port 9, and I'm going to do it once again, lowercase s, ERVO, capital MOTOR. Okay, so I'm going to turn that to 3-wire servo. Left motor is going to be a 269, and it would be whatever motor you guys have plugged in. For me, I have the 269s put in. I'm going to apply those. Okay. My motors are set up. What in tarnation just happened? Okay. Okay. So they named it green. They named servo motor, left motor, right motor. Very good. So then it says use the program below in the task main section of the program between the curly braces. And it's literally turn LED off, green, turn, wait, all that. So, for example, it would be turn LED off, okay, and double click, turn LED off, oh, that's turn flashlight. So make sure you have the correct one done. Everything needs to be between the curly braces. So your task main here, this says task main parenthesis, and then everything after the task main is the main task that the computer is going to do. Anything that falls between the curly braces is the code itself. Anything outside of the curly braces is not going to be read. So for this case, everything would be typed inside the curly braces. So I'm going to do turn LED off. I'm going to specify which LED. All right, and I named mine green LED. And then I'm going to do semicolon. Okay. The semicolon basically says this line's finished. All right. So far the computer would read, I need to turn this green LED off. Okay. The next line I'm going to write is wait, and then I'm going to do 1 in parentheses semicolon. So what I just told it is after you turn off the LED, wait for 1 second. And then it's like, okay, I've waited. And then it goes to the next line. So turn LED on. And then once again, I have green LED. I'm going to double check and make sure that's what I called it. Motor and sensor setup. Green LED. Very good. Okay. So then it would be wait 1 second. And then I'm going to run that command again. And you could go through it by typing it every time, or I'm just going to copy and paste it. Literally, I'll highlight it all, Control C, Enter, Control V, and then I've turned it on again. And finally, I am going to wait one more time and turn off Control C, Enter, Control V, turn LED off. Okay, and then make sure your semicolon's there. If they aren't, then you will have issues. So this is my code. Turn LED off, wait 1 second, turn it on, wait 1 second, turn it off, wait 1 second, turn it on, wait 1 second, turn it off. Okay, so once we run that, I'm going to power on my Cortex, which it is. We're going to compile and download the program. So I'm compiling it. I'm going to download it to the robot. And you're going to get this little debug thing here. And once again, I'm going to see that I can look at my debugger windows. Make sure you have timers, motor, sensors. Okay, once I click start, that's going to operate the motor. Currently, my light is on. Okay, so let's see what happens when I click start. Off, on, off, on, off, on. Okay, and since I didn't write any code to say repeat this over and over, after it did it, it's done. So if I did it start again, be off, on, off, on, off, on. And if you look in the background here on the computer screen, you'll actually see the code running through. Alright, so that's how it should work. Make sure you're doing that. Once you're done with the LEDs, alright, you should work. It should work. So I'm going to save my file again. Exit out of the debugger window. I would clear this. And then you guys would continue on and do part 2, controlling one motor. I'm not going to do every single one with you guys, because otherwise that's just me literally showing you the answers. So make sure you're going through this, and it's going to be how to control a motor. You don't have to save again. Just start a new code, save it. So you're going to test the motors, controlling 2 motors at the same time, controlling a servo motor. So once again, your servos, where did I plug that in? I accidentally plugged in my servo here on the edge. I should have done here. But your servos are controlled off of degrees, and your motors are controlled off of speed. Power on the Cortex. Make sure you go through all this here. And once you're done, once again, you're not going to exchange test beds, because every test bed is the same, because we have enough equipment. So with that, if you guys get stuck, and another thing you should do, all right, if you get stuck, work with each other, talk to the sub. But another thing you should look at is creating flowcharts, program planning. All these resources are good stuff for you. So things to look at. just to double check if you're getting stuck. Also, besides my YouTube videos that I'm creating, if you Google 3.1.2 basic outputs programming, POE, you're going to find 7 other teachers at least that have done this that may explain it in a way that's better to you. So make sure you just double check that. And that's how you get through the basic inputs and outputs of programming. All right. And with that, toodles, y'all.